Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome or welcome back to Stars Aligned Oracle YouTube channel. Cat Star here with your general reading for the week of August 29th through September 4th. As a reminder, my readings are for entertainment and are general in nature. They may or may not resonate for everybody, so please do take what is for you and leave what isn't. For those of you liking and sharing the videos, thank you so much. It does help others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. All right, just going to jump right in, see what is happening, going on, coming in for you this week, Aquarius. Wow, that tower's been coming out a lot in general. All right, let's get a few more cards here. And see, I do trust that you all had the most amazing, wonderful weekend and that you're having a wonderful start to the week. We had a gorgeous weekend, had a great big party that had been planning for over a month, and it turned out fabulously, beautifully, and it was so much fun. Wow, too many cards. The cards are a little either chaotic today or restless today. So, okay. And we're going to go ahead and get an oracle card at the end. All right, so let's just jump right in. You start out with the Judgment card. Now, what is coming through here with the Judgment card here, Aquarius, is that some of you have really been working to seek other people's approval. Like, you potentially have been worried that other people are judging you for like what you say, how you show up, the things that you're doing, and you have been potentially, or you're going to be during this time, really working hard towards receiving approval from others. And it's coming through with this energy that you're just really looking for kind of support, or for some of you, kind of a purpose of sorts. So some of you may be feeling or have been feeling or moving into this space during this time, Aquarius, of feeling like you're just kind of not sure maybe who it is that you are anymore, or kind of how you show up, or maybe even how other people see you. There's kind of this energy of almost feeling as if, you just want other people to like you, or you just really want some approval during this time, Aquarius. And what is coming through is that, it's you need to approve of yourself, is what Spirit's saying. You don't need other people's approval. But there are times, I know, when we can all get into those spaces where we'll say things or do things that maybe aren't really what we generally would want to say or to do, but then sometimes we maybe almost out of characteristically or subconsciously want other people's approval. And so that is something that may be coming through for you this week, Aquarius. Also, you have the Eight of Swords coming in here, and this is really, kind of having this energy of kind of being tied up. And what's coming through, if you see the images here, this is almost this reflection that this person is seeing in the mirror, as this person here doesn't have that. So there's a potential that you're seeing things that way, that that you're wanting, or you're thinking that other people, need to approve of you, or you're wanting other people's approval during this time, Aquarius. And it's really putting you in this place, or it will be putting you in this place of feeling like you really, aren't able to see, or aren't able to really put out kind of what is going on within you or for you, or maybe even your feelings. So what is coming through here is that there's a potential as well, Aquarius, that some other people are saying or doing things during this time that potentially you actually don't approve of. And for some of you, you're actually just going with it just to maybe save face, or so that you're not rocking the boat, or even potentially for some, what's coming through is that it may actually be something that you just go along with for a moment, somebody doing something, somebody saying something that is totally against your morals, your thoughts, that sort of thing, and you don't even realize that you're going with it until like later, or somebody says something and it's like, why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you stop that? Or why didn't you, why didn't you kind of, somebody saying that to you here, Aquarius. Really interesting energy coming through here. And then you feel kind of tied up, as almost as if, well, I didn't see it that way at the time, or I didn't think about it at the time, that sort of thing. So this energy is, it feels heavy. It just feels heavy. Well, then you have the Tower coming in here, Aquarius, and the Tower is coming in here with this energy of having this change of direction, having this kind of sudden something. So for some of you, this, either seeking approval or like going along with something and not realizing till maybe after the fact, obviously probably not a crime or any of that stuff. Maybe it's just bad behavior, or for some of you it maybe, but going along with something at the time, maybe even laughing or joking about something that really isn't something that it goes with your morals or goes with kind of your values, and not really realizing at the time that it was something that really was not something that you would have gone with. I hope that is coming through. I hope you're understanding what I'm putting out here, Aquarius. But the Tower is coming in. So this event, Aquarius, is happening for is happening, or is going to be happening for a reason, and it's coming in to really kind of open your eyes, change the direction, potentially create this space for you to be able to slow down and take a step back and think about things in that moment, right? Sometimes life just feels like it goes by so quickly, or things are happening, or maybe, we're not noticing all of the things that are going on. And we're not meant to notice everything, Aquarius, but, what's coming through, or what Spirit's saying here is maybe to just slow down and be in the moment, be present, because this is happening, Aquarius, for you to kind of open your eyes, or to show you, the potentially you're not seeing everything, or you're not really tuning into everything, you're not paying maybe attention, and this isn't meant to really bog you down or anything here, Aquarius, but Spirit is saying that this Tower moment is coming to really create a shift, to really have kind of this radical change, or a change of direction. For some, what's coming through here, and I'm just going to be frank, Aquarius, within this, is that there's a potential that there is a person, a friend, a person that you're interested in, maybe even a family member, who doesn't always do or say like the best things. I mean, and that's all up to, perception and all of that kind of stuff. But and that something may happen during this week, may come up during this week, where you may not even see it. It's like you may not even see it at the time, Aquarius, and then after the fact, you're really, potentially for some of you, I just feel like staying up at night worrying or thinking about it, like potentially it makes you look bad, whatever this is, or potentially other people see you differently due to this. It's almost like guilt by association is what's coming through here, Aquarius, and this is really happening in this way for you, and it's something that can't be ignored. It's something that you have to pay attention to. So potentially you've been hanging around this person, or wanting to hang around this person, or however that resonates for you, and it has been happening, and you just kind of have been going with it. And what's coming through here is that this is happening in this way, in a way that is big enough that you can't ignore it, Aquarius, that it can't be ignored, to open your eyes and to kind of assist you in seeing, because it's coming through as this isn't a first time that this has happened, Aquarius, potentially within this person, or within, maybe even a certain setting. And it's coming through that it's happening during this time, Aquarius, to really open your eyes, to really be the seeing. It's almost as if like something is happening, like you're being like bonked on the head, like you haven't paid attention, you haven't paid attention, you haven't paid attention. Well, this Aquarius you can't ignore is kind of how this is coming through. Interesting energy. It feels like heavy energy, but it doesn't feel like heavy energy in the sense of, it just feels like in my body it feels heavy, and my stomach feels kind of nauseous, and I kind of feel, a little bit freaked out, for lack of better words. So that's potentially what this situation may make you feel like, Aquarius. And it may not be as a situation is happening that you feel that way. It may be after the fact, like thinking about it, or even when you go to bed, that it may just keep going on or keep kind of running through your mind, as in, maybe during the time you kind of joked about it or laughed about whatever this is, Aquarius, kind of joked or laughed about it. And then later as you're thinking back, or as you're, in bed and working to go to sleep, it's like it keeps running through, and it's something that you um, are, staying up because of, or you feel like you can't sleep because of, and it's really happening in this way, Aquarius, so that you don't ignore it, so that you pay attention to it and really potentially see kind of what has been going on, or maybe even where you have been working to, kind of receive people's approval, which is outside of what you really are about, or what your norms are, that sort of thing. Okay. Now you also have, I hope that this makes sense, because this energy and the messages coming through are, like I said, a little heavy. They don't feel good. My stomach feels upset, and I feel, kind of shaky, or um, freaked out is the feeling. Like I feel really, yeah. Hopefully that makes sense for you. Now you also have the Temperance card coming in here, and with that Temperance card, what is coming through is that this is happening for you, Aquarius, and it's not something that is happening to you per se, right? But it's happening for you to open your eyes, to really bring about this almost this balancing of energy, this understanding, this realization, this knowing that this potentially isn't really who you are, and or who maybe you want to associate yourself with, at least not in big increments or long-term things, because sometimes when it's family, if that is what resonates for you here, Aquarius, it can be difficult to not, be around certain family members, or for parties or outings or dinners or stuff like that. Even when we don't intentionally go around certain people, sometimes they're there. And so this is also bringing about, with the Temperance card, kind of this energy of having patience, but also having a bit of distance, Aquarius. So this is, it's what's really just coming through just over and over, is that this is just to open your eyes. This is something that can't be ignored. There's a potential that this person, or whatever this event may be, or the situation may be, really doesn't have the best intentions for all the people involved, or it's potentially that they're just very selfish, and or they do things that they think may get a rise out of other people, and yeah, it's almost kind of strange energy to feel, because it's not something that I normally feel. It's almost like a panicked energy, like kind of were maybe at the time like, oh yeah, haha, or this, or it's very strange energy, to me, to feel like this upset, yeah, it's wild energy. And then you also have the Seven of Wands coming in here, Aquarius, and with that under Seven of Wands, this is really coming through that you're feeling a bit vulnerable about this situation or this person, for whatever reason. Potentially you're really beginning to kind of put the pieces together, and noticing kind of things from before that maybe didn't add up or didn't really feel good, that you kind of brushed off. So this is really, you're kind of stepping back into certain situations, certain things, or certain places, or certain people that have been around you, that have really potentially had situations or had things that behaviors, that sort of thing in the past that you kind of brushed off, and you're starting to see or notice that there's a potential pattern with this person or within these situations or within these events, right? Or with certain people involved. Again, I hope this is making sense, Aquarius, what is coming through here. But you're almost feeling vulnerable or in this vulnerable state. It's almost as if you're like, oh, is there a potential I could be in trouble or people will be upset with me, Aquarius? This is such an odd reading, but so feeling that with that Seven of Wands, that a little bit um, of feeling vulnerable, but having this energy that kind of opens your eyes and that can't be ignored that's coming in is really going to assist you in kind of having that movement or that growth away from this, Aquarius. Again, we talked about it just a few minutes ago that sometimes if this is, around family or that sort of thing, sometimes you can't always, be away or that, but it's kind of like this limiting energy as far as that's concerned around those people. But there's some movement, right? There's some movement away from this person or these situations or these people, however, and so that you can grow, but also regain. Because for some of you, it's coming through that you have potentially lost yourself within maybe seeking approval or within kind of the situations or the things that have come up regarding, this certain person or these certain situations or events that you've kind of lost yourself. And so there's that movement of coming back to yourself, coming in here, Aquarius. And then you also have the Two of Wands and the Six of Cups coming in here. And with the Two of Wands, you're really looking forward to kind of being on the other side of this, Aquarius. For some of you, it feels like this kind of situation or this person that may be involved, Aquarius, it feels like it's been ongoing for quite a while, and that for some of you, you just really felt like you just really wanted to be in this person's energy or some of the stuff that this person did. For some of you, it's actually coming through that it may have been a romantic person or a person that you were romantic with in the past, and you're really with this eye opening, with this not being able to be ignored situation or event that is either occurring now or is going to be occurring sometime this week or moving forward, of course. It's almost as if you're looking at the possibilities, like you're having some friction, right? And that friction has become so that you can't ignore it, that you have to pay attention to it. And you're beginning to see that, this may not be the best situation for you. So you're kind of looking at things from like almost the past perspective, going back and seeing situations and events that happened or that sort of thing that you weren't comfortable with at the time, but kind of went along with. And then also looking towards the future without that, and potentially without this feeling, that nauseous feeling or that panic feeling. For some of you, it could be almost this feeling of adrenaline and being like, yeah, this was so good, so fun, but then realizing that really it wasn't. Okay. And then you also have the Six of Cups. So again, this may be a person that was somebody that is part of your family. It could be somebody that was somebody from your past or somebody that you've known for a long time, or even a past romantic partner that, sometimes what happens as far as romantic or past romantic partners come in is that they can come back, and this is not a love reading, but that they can come back and there can be those memories and that nostalgia where you really are just like, oh, kind of starstruck, which sounds silly, but sometimes past people can still feel like they might have a little bit of charm or a little bit of a hold on us, Aquarius. And so there's a potential that is where that's coming from, but this is where it's coming through that there's, this may be family, it may be a past person, because there's some memories, there's some nostalgia there. And for some of you, you just really want to be kind of back in with that person or had the thoughts of that or remembering those good times. But this person isn't taking you, isn't doing things in a loving way. They're doing things in a very selfish way. And to continue, and that's why I feel like this is that you can't ignore this, and that eye opening with that Tower, Aquarius, is because if you continue with them, they'll take you potentially down the wrong path, or a path you don't want to go down. So let's go ahead and see here what else, what the potential outcome is. Ooh, what the potential outcome is. This may actually, it's actually coming through that this may be a test as well, Aquarius. So that you have the Justice card coming in here, and isn't that interesting? This is really just about having that truth and realizing cause and effect. So when, again, that for some reason, and this isn't criminal, or it's not coming through that way, Aquarius, so please don't take it that way. Many different situations, many different things can come through in this, just bad behavior, bad actions, that sort of thing. But this is really that cause and effect, that, you know, that guilt by association potentially, that whatever this person is doing, or however these situations are playing out, that others may see you differently. And it's not about seeking their approval. It's really about moving back into, or staying within who it is that you are, your morals, your values, your beliefs, what you think is right and wrong, as far as, you know, just kind of the way that you see the world, or the way that you feel like, things are maybe meant to be. Again, if this is family or an ex-person, some of you may be really just kind of wanting that approval, or wanting to be in that person's space. But it's coming out that with that Six of Cups, that this is potentially just due to memories or past associations, but this person may not be a good fit for you anymore, Aquarius, or the situation or the events. You're going to know what resonates the most for you. But cause and effect, so, you know, when something happens or something is said, or that there's always almost a consequence to it, Aquarius. And so this is happening so that you can really make an informed decision, a choice, whether you want to continue, you know, hanging out with this person, or being around this person, or within these events or these situations, however that resonates for you. I really do hope this has been a difficult, um, a difficult, a difficult feeling reading, and there's a lot of, emotions, and there's a lot of energy and upset stomach feelings that I'm going through. So for those of you that may be, you know, in this situation at this point, or moving, you notice that that's coming up, or you're not beginning to notice that, Aquarius, it is, you know, I'm sending lots of hugs to you. And you have the Black Jaguar, old soul, walk through life with confidence and grace. You have power beyond this world. Focus on what you really want. You can create your dreams. So really coming through with this Black Jaguar here, that, you know, again, this situation is asking you to focus on what it is that you want, Aquarius. Focus on what your morals are, what your beliefs are, and, you know, kind of where you want to be associated, whether it's with, you know, kind of the things that you value, or whether it is really with the things, or some things, events, people that really kind of go outside of that scope for you. Because this is a time, this is a moment, this is a space for this eye-opening kind of energy coming through, and for this to not be ignored. It's happening, it's going to be happening, or it is happening, of course, in a big way, so that you can gain that knowledge, you can gain those lessons, and you can really move back into and remember who you are, and move back towards that, Aquarius. So it's not happening to you, but it's almost as a spirit's like bonking you on the head, or like, what is it? Smacking you on the forehead and being like, hey, are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? I've been showing you all these things. All this stuff has been happening. And now it's time for this tower to come in here, because you're not getting it. And so I'm going to make it happen this way, Aquarius, so that you can't ignore it, so that you have to pay attention, and you have to really potentially make a choice whether you want to continue on this path within these situations, these events, or with this person, or especially, you know, with that nauseous energy and that feeling kind of freaked out, or being associated with, right? Even if it's not you doing, saying, being, acting, behaving, however, in that way, if you want to continue to be associated with that, or if it's time to kind of, you know, step back and really notice kind of what's been going on and potentially break ties, because this tower moment, this shakeup, and this old soul energy is coming through with this kind of knowing that you have this grace, that you get to make the choices, and that this is happening so that you can gain that wisdom, Aquarius. So gorgeous. Wow, what an interesting, intense reading. This is really intense. The emotions and the feelings, um, yeah, were that I was feeling all through this, Aquarius, has been pretty deep and pretty heavy, again, I'll say. So for those of you going through this, or beginning to notice this within your own life, I'm sending you lots of hugs and lots of love, right, to really be able to move through the situation. Because for some of you, again, with that Six of Cups energy, it feels like this person or these situations, again, whether it's family and ex or just somebody, it feels like it may have been going on, or you guys have ties that go back quite a ways. So that can feel difficult, and I do understand that. So I'm sending you lots of love. All right, I do intend this resonated with you and for you. If it did, please do hit that like button and share this video. It does help others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. Also, feel free to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload new readings. It is free for you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and it does support the Lucky Stars community in growing and thriving. As always, I do wish you lots of hope, lots of joy, and lots of love with all of your current and future endeavors. I'll see you in the next reading.